Do you want to become a permanent part of the channel? Check out the Alliteration Gaming Patreon. Here you'll find different tiers that I'll let you get involved in my videos, as well as provide you with a shout out, exclusive Discord access, and the ability to see my content early and ad free. Now if you're new here, you're gonna need an account on the UGN site. This will let you sign up for events, locate stores near you, and of course accrue those redemption points to use in the loyalty shop. You can even snag yourself 50 bonus points right now if you let me refer you. Until August 30th, when you're signing up, just click on Content Creator and type my channel name in the box. Regardless of how you do it though, thanks for being part of the Alliteration Nation. Now, let's get on to the video. Good evening my dear viewers and welcome to another Alliteration gaming video. My name's Levi and today we're doing another little commissioned deck. My boy Kevin Reimer has hit me up and said that he wants to play some good old-fashioned Bakugo 1. Now, while this is not a deck that I think changed very much from set 5, granted on the fire symbol, I should say, Fire Bakugo is what he wanted, he said that was the mission nonetheless, and that he wanted to do something new. He said he's been playing the, you know, the Prominence Burn type deck, and he just really wants to see some new cards in this. And that being said, there are pretty few spicy new Fire Furies that we can look at in set 5 that I think can make this deck super dope and give us some new tools to play with. Bakugo 1 is a very simple little dude. Your blocked Fury attacks are going to get the heck out of your card pool, and you can trade your foundations for damage. Now when it comes to our attacks, we want things that make our rival really interested in blocking. This guy is very win-win. You're either going to get damage in or you're going to get to clear your card pool and continue your assault. So when it comes to our attacks, they're going to sync up with that very beautifully. We're of course running an all Fury package here. Our character needs some Furies, and it's going to play beautifully with our stun grenade. We got to play 4 of this card, man. We're a 6 hand size aggro character. This says look at the top 3 for another move. On top of that, it's got stun. It has maybe even more stun after a few Bakugo responses, and powerful seals it up. Ignited Arrow is still going to be here because this card is so crazy in Fire Bakugo. It literally says you will take 4 or more depending on what damage I put in it, and that's it. That's your only alternative unless it'll kill you, because blocking this, letting me clear my card pool and letting me go find another move is way too good. After that, we've got a new entry here in a three copies of Bad Guy Roundup. This card happens to be a Fury. It's also got powerful, and it's some very nice momentum hate as well as a cantrip. Now, we might not have more ready foundations against all of our rivals. Bakugo is definitely not the character that builds a ton, but I still think it's a card that we can utilize pretty nicely. And another thing that Kevin made pretty clear to me is that he really hates dealing with the Amajikis at his locals. So Exploding Pride was something that he said we should play, but I think this is a bit more of a scarier move and a more efficient move that I think could come in place with that momentum hate. Momentum hate's just super important right now, so I think this card is pretty cool to consider. Cyclone is of course just a quintessential Fury card here, snagging for momentum, getting a million damage, drawing us cards. It's just nuts, man. It's just real good stuff. Haymaker, while it is a flash move, so don't get to do any Bakugo enhancing on it, can pump itself damage-wise and makes itself very threatening to deal with. If you have to commit like, you know, three or more cards going into this near like the end of a string potentially, it can get real frightening real fast. Even if you just play it as like your second move or so, you check bad, they gotta block it, man. 8 damage is a ton. So I think this card kind of just gives us some really nice free damage, and I think the defensive ability is very big. The Breaker one on top of this, so you have to play an attack as your next one, is really awesome. Fire is a symbol that doesn't get to block on its own very well as far as like speed reduction and good block mods are. We don't have a ton of that, so having like these defensive tricks is very cool for the fire symbol. After that, we got a little difficulty reduction package. I've got 2 copies of Howitzer Impact in here because I think this card's just freaking sweet, and I don't see enough people running it. Most of the time we opt for, you know, other things in that slot like the Nitros or the Rapid Punches, but I think this card's really sick. On top of that, I really like it in tandem with Calorie Counter. It gives us 2 attacks that just really reduce our difficulty curve, and I think that's awesome. Again, Bakugo is a character that a lot of your moves get so big, so scary. that your rival's just going to be very inclined to block them. So this being able to come in with even more block punishment and that oh so important speed resource. That's a big thing about both of these cards, is they pump speed, which is very rare in our attack lineup. You know, Bakugo is very good at putting damage on his moves, but we need some speed when it's time to like actually seal the deal here, right? And so I think these cards are really good at that, on top of being FURYs that cover our off-zone blocks as well. Going into our assets, quick to act is like, you know, the generic symbol 0 on the fire symbol, so we just got to play it. Arrogance round out our low blocks very nicely, on top of being a 6 check, on top of punches being literally everywhere right now. Good punches, life punches, void punches. You just can't go into an event without expecting to see some repeated smashes and rejuve smashes coming at you. So arrogant, I feel like, is just a 4 of all day every day right now, and it's pretty important for our block zones. Our lows are like a little low, but it's not too bad, all things considered. Past that, I like the 4 Let's Fight Bad Guys 4 Fastest Flame package in here, because I think just, again, speed is a really important resource for this character. Being able to make your cyclones and stuff like that just really threatening is, I think, a super big deal. And a little bit of speed reduction is good too, so we're of course going to pack quadruple ice gliding here. And then I'm just trying to alleviate our 6 hand size issues a bit more with 4 calling for backup. Again, it's just very good generic spam draw for the fire symbol. Speaking of spam draw, Seasoned Brawler is another new source of draw power that comes into our deck here that I really like. Flip to draw a card, playable while committed, is very good, and once again makes our rival really hesitant to block us, because, you know, as our on-block responses just stack up more and more, that's just more potential free damage that we get to get on board, and it continues to be win-win for us. Triple latent skill, because we got to find those hot hands, got to do a little bit of digging. Triple nervous habit, because once again, I think speed's super duper important in this deck. I really just want to send my cyclones for like as fast as possibly can be, snag some momentum, get all these powerfuls lined up. I just think it's a very important thing to do for this character. But these could also be something different if you really so desired. I think this is probably the most flexible slot in here. These could easily be like encouragements for even more card pool clearing, or maybe like heroic lineage or strength of a pro for some more speed reduction options, or even irrefutables for some nice ceiling. I've got a pair of childhood friends in here because I think this card recurring stuff like stun grenade is very good. Just keeping our engine going is nice. Not to mention, with Bad Guy Roundup in the deck, we have 10 powerful attacks, which is enough to make me very happy to run this card. I think we can get a lot of free lose health and gain health off of something like this. And then I've got 3 looking for a challenges in here as, again, one of our new cards. I think we get to play a lot of Rapus cards very nicely inside this deck. This is just really cool. It's like our only piece of stun hate, but it's a very much like you're not allowed to stun me type of card. And then when we're on the offensive, it just gets to count as 2 foundations, and I think that's good enough for our super aggressive fire Bakugo deck. I have a lot of things that destroy foundations in here, namely the howitzer impacts as some extra ones. So Grenadier Bracers just feels super duper okay to try and set up like a real big bomb, especially something that we can save like a couple speed pumps on. Really easy to set up like a super duper lethal cyclone, or even like a big scary howitzer. This being a 6 low for 6 is a great place to start with. 6 low for 8 with our character, amazing. Lastly, I spoke a lot about our defensive tech, and how rather than like raw blocking, we want to rely on kind of like cute stuff to get us by. I think Spear and Shield's awesome at that. This being a +1 mid block with Breaker 1, and we get to not only snap momentum but force our rival to commit something. I think this card's awesome. And then on the offensive, this can just easily be like a pseudo like powerful 4, right, on something that doesn't have powerful 4. And I think that's just really dope. I think this card's some super good offensive defensive tech, and symbols that struggle to do that, like fire and death, I think really get a lot of mileage out of something like a spear and a shield. Past that, I do want to talk about sideboard options a little bit, because Kevin was very concerned about Amajiki running around at his locals. You can side in some more Exploding Prides. Redguard is also a great side against him. Not too great on the offensive because we can't clear it as it's not a Fury, but you want to stop those jolts from, you know, poking you, those Gravlifts from poking you, stuff like that. In a similar vein, Surprise Interception is very underrated sideboard tech right now. Super duper good against Amajiki, and more importantly, super good against Mirio. who is someone that you kind of really see everywhere. Past that, I think Go for the Win is also a really good option for decks that are going really hard on the breaker. This could also be the better main decked action over Spear and Shield. But again, the point of the point of the deck that was sent in was, let's try and play some new cards. Let's shake up the game a little bit and try some of all this new tech in set 5. Man, there's a lot of really neat stuff that might just seal some powerful deals. That being said, though, guys, it's gonna put a wrap to this Fire Bakugo deck. Again, not the most innovative one in the world. Just trying out a bunch of new things here and seeing if we can get some gears moving with these new really sick Fury cards, man. And if you want to send in your own deck commission just like this, you can check out my Patreon linked down below for all of the info regarding that. But if all you did was just make it to the end of this one, I like it all the same, man. Thanks a ton, and I hope I can see you in the next one.